everybody. I am so happy to see you. I really miss church, and I miss Wednesday nights, and I miss being with my fellowship. And today I really wanted to go back over the crafts that we did to go along with the lesson, and I'm going to do 2 today. And the first thing we're going to do is a egg shaker, and the second thing we're going to do is a paper plate shaker tambourine thing. But the first thing we'll start is our story is still about Paul and Silas, who were best friends, and they traveled from place to place. Now, they did something amazing, and this is really what we want to talk about, because it's not necessarily the craft, but why we're doing the craft. When Paul and Silas traveled from place to place, they cast out the demons out of a little girl, and they were put in jail. Now, they didn't do anything when they were put in jail, but here they found themselves. But when they were traveling around, they were talking about how much Jesus loved them, and they were talking about the fact that while they were talking about Jesus loving them, they also were praising God, and they were singing. And while they were in jail, they saved not only themselves, but everyone else, because they knew that they didn't worry, they weren't afraid, and they focused on worshiping God and being thankful for the moment where they were at. And that's really so hard right now, is just being thankful and grateful for where we're at. And so today we're going to make shakers, and it's really easy. The children and I this week were making shakers, and all we did was we took rice or beans, or today I have popcorn kernels, and we poured the popcorn kernels in our Easter eggs, just like that. And we put the lid on top, and we put it together, and then I just took about a 4-inch piece of tape. Well, actually I had them do it. They did a really good job. And then we had them loop the tape around the seam just so that they won't come apart. And I held them for them. And then we put them over here. And so this is really for toddlers. The kids that worked with me this week were about 3 years old. And so I helped them get the tape on a little straight. But if it's crooked, it won't matter. The whole goal here is that I used tape that was wide enough to secure the egg, so that what they can really do is they can shake them really well. And then I gave them some stickers that I had floating around, and we just put the stickers on.
Hello, Leslie.
Hello, Leslie. Now here we are. I'm just putting the stickers on, like that. And they decorated, I think that they put on every single one of the stickers in the square. And I will post pictures of the kids putting the stickers on the squares. But I'm going to move on to our next craft that is for a little bit older children. And have you ever wondered, going through the dollar store, who buys all the things in the aisles? Well, that would be me. Here we have some beads. And I couldn't find normal paper plates in my house, so I found some from Christmas. And what I did is, and what you would do if you were with some older preschoolers, is just take a hole punch, and if your plate was a circle, then just poke holes around the outside edges. I, of course, took my star, and I poked holes. I held them together, first of all, and poked the holes together. The second thing I did was have them all open, and then I provided the children with a scoop, and I let them go into the bag, and they scooped out their choice of rice or beads or beans, and then we put them back together until we had a good number, maybe a few more. But again, this is just so it makes a lot of noise. So when we're worshiping God and we're saying thank you to Jesus for whatever circumstances we're in, whether it's good or scary right now, we can be happy. And then I always have a bag full of extra pipe cleaners or ribbons. And you can just go ahead and have the children put the pipe cleaners through the holes and then help them to twist them. I found that they can't tie, but usually they can twist really nicely. If you use ribbon, it'll give more of a streamer effect. But I found with littler hands that pipe cleaners act as a great needle, and you don't need to thread them through. And then just tie them around. It's pretty fast for adults going through this, doing it very quickly. I made about 10 holes here, And I just rotated them through here very easily. And then we tied them all together. And they don't need to be super tight. Really what we're trying to do is make sure that they don't fall apart when they play with them, because they do play with them and they make lots of noise. Sometimes if they can't put them through the bottom to the top, it's easier to go through the top down to the bottom and then just tie them up and twist them. We're almost done. We've just got a couple more. Here we go. Now, again, I get really nervous when I do these things. It's not the teaching aspect. It's actually the speaking in front of a camera without children. I love your children and I miss them all. I think about them all the time and let them know that I'm praying for them and that they are so special. And this is actually how I cut them. I just took some preschool scissors and I cut about an inch and a half, and then I just tied them too. So, but just let them know that I love them, that I'm praying for them. I'm here thinking about ways to keep them busy as I try to keep all of my children busy. And sometimes that's really easy and sometimes it's really hard. But here we have our star paper plate. And all I did with the kids was I literally, again, I have a lot of craft supplies that sit in my kitchen. You have glitter glue, or I have these really cool bingo markers, and I let the kids go to town with the bingo markers. And we talked about the different colors that God creates in nature. We talked about the fact that these sort of looks like grapes, and those are our favorite fruit right now. I also had some sparkles and more stickers, and so we put whatever we really felt like doing on these, and they came out really fun. The green. But this is one way of allowing a craft to help you explain the story. Now the story itself is Paul and Silas and how when they were afraid, they did not let their circumstances get in the way, but that they sat there and praised God. Now if I shake this, it's really loud. So, but just like your kids, they're gonna get done and they're gonna wanna shake this. So I'm gonna give you 2 seconds of really good shakes. All right. And I just am really grateful that God gives me the ability to do these things. And I'm very grateful that I miss the kids so much and that I have been doing this for about 7 years now, getting to play with the kids all the time. I have one last way that I was going to show you when we were talking about the earthquake. Right now, I've been doing a couple of things for homeschooling. One, the earthquake, knocked the jail over. Boom! However, with kids, I've been working with salt, just regular table salt. I have table salt. And we've been doing a couple things with it. Well, for this story, we took the table salt and I put it into a cake plate. Right here is a plastic plate that I had that I threw in my recycling container. I use lots of recycling products. And what we did was we talked about what happens when an earthquake is. Because, earthquakes are scary. I'm sure that Paul and Silas were definitely scared. But I know for a fact that they sat and they worshiped. But the ground shook, and that was really scary. So I let the kids play in the salt. We also use it to spell their names so that we could start working with numbers. And it was a really easy way of spending the day talking about how Jesus loved us. And that no matter what happens, whether it's an earthquake, we played in the salt, or whether it's crafting, however you decide to extend the story at home, to let you know that it doesn't have to be a big deal. It really truly was an Easter egg with things that we had at home. A paper plate and some paint. You can paint, you can produce some stickers. All those things that you're trying to extend right now, I literally dug into my recycling. So I just wanted you to know that Paul and Silas go to jail. And the really important thing that we all need to remember is that no matter how scary the circumstances got, the first thing that they did was they sang and praised God. So here we have praising God. Praising God. Later we're going to talk about how the other thing that they did was they prayed. And we're going to do some, next week, I think Wednesday, we'll do some prayer hands and some craft projects on that. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. May you be richly blessed this week, and I can't wait to see you on Sunday. Have a good day. Bye.